first generation A-Trade. I founded the north side of the A-Trade Gangster Crips in 1980. I've been a combatant in that war, which catapulted me to local stardom, celebrity status in our area, South Central, from just basic atrocities. You know what I mean? Nothing that really caused me to think or sit down and solve a problem. I always was adding on to problems. So, we get to that, but I was one of the dudes, you know what I'm saying, front line. But I learned from cats. I didn't just materialize out of thin air. I didn't fall from the sky. I was produced by a certain climate in a certain area, in certain dirt. Man, in the tropics of destitution. This is where I was produced. This is where other plants before me were produced. And we just came up as cactuses. And we didn't need much what everybody else needed. You didn't have to warm us, but every 3 years. I mean, we just existed in a fucking desert of nothing but just poverty and just our elders not understanding that just something was going on with us as people. We couldn't articulate it. I don't think the cats before us could, because the way they reacted, it was not just in rebellion to the system and the pigs and the whole American thing, but it was also in rebellion to the Panthers, who had established something that was about unity. So these young cats, keyways, and then eventually down moves, these was now the front line vanguard of me. This is where I was looking. When they was looking at maybe Huey or Bunchy Carter or Craig Munson, Craig Credit, cats from the East, Raymond, before him and two hooked up. Man, who I am, man, is product balling. So in 1972, December, my mother moved from Crenshaw District to 69th and Dinker. And it's something about this area, man. This is just a dynamic area. This whole little area, I'm talking about between Manchester and Slauson, between Crenshaw and Normandy, is something about this area. Out of this one area, 5 people have written books. 5 people have written books out of this area. But not just that, out of this area on the west side, South Central, connecting streets to Florence and Normandy. This little area right here was really the command center of the West Side Crips. St. Andrews Park was the center of the West Side Crips Park. The A-Trades inherited that. This shit that the A-Trade got, that we got now, that we've been fighting 60s for 40 years, man. We inherited. The war with the 90s was inherited to us through our relation with the Hoovers, but also as a consequence of us claiming St. Andrews Park. St. Andrews Park never got along with Sportsman Park. The Sportsman Park boys was the enemies of St. Andrews Park. So Tookie, Cutes, Rusty, Mouse, Todd, Chucky Madison, Gary Lane. I mean, these dudes using their whole names. I mean, these dudes was like rambunctious, serious giants. This is what I inherited. This is why. So my mother moved us in 72, she moved us to 69th Street. And I'm seeing these cats. I'm seeing Rusty hit the corner every day. I'm seeing Q's hit the corner every day. 64, Riviera.
With Facebook shops, connecting people with your business just got easier.
I want it to stop you.
Truck lights under the wheel wells with the wheel well painted right with the Kragers, the little 20s, and him leaning with the 8-track, probably holding it with his hands so he can keep the same song going, but just that visual. You see how boys in the hood or Minister Society slow shit down? And they see a gangster walking, or the news will slow you down when they want to make you look particularly atrocious. Like they'll say, today, Kody Scott murdered 12 people and was captured. But they'll show me coming out of court, and I'll be saying to my wife, hey babes, I'll talk to you tomorrow. But they'll slow it down there and they'll look like this. And then they'll be saying, and Cody Scott killed 12 people and he's been captured. You see, they'll make you, so your visual ain't lining up with what you're hearing, but the hearing is more evil. And the way you're going, you can't be saying nothing cool, look at your face. But they slowed the footage down. And you look like you're frowning, but you just really passing the love note. What I'm saying is, point of view, right? The point of view from which I got of seeing these cats was like a jump for me from World War II movies that was popular at that time when I came up. Rat Patrol, Combat with Big Mo. Those are the dudes I wanted to be like if they was rough and tumble dudes, but I only seen them on TV. And then before them, the bullshit cowboy movies, genocide movies, you know, with John Wayne swaggering his ass up in there. John Wayne swagged his ass up in some shit, and this motherfucker's just got testosterone all on the walls and shit. Right? I mean, this motherfucker's leaking man. Right? But that's the image they want to portray of the American people, American male at that time. So that's where I got my whole get down of what it was like to be upright, to be, you know, not just able to do it, but able to protect people too. Because I never liked bullies, man. I never liked the bullies, right? Because at that time I was being bullied.
So explain to me who were some of the older Crips you looked up to in your area when your mom's area?
Yeah, I moved into the fucking Central Castle for what today is prototypical, what today is the archetypical gangster. I moved into that, and that was just the norm. And these cats, but they had their own style. They wore leather like the Panthers, but they really wasn't about black power. These dudes out getting pussy. These dudes carried guns. They were just doing what they wanted to do. They were outlaws. They were outside of the law. And that's what the appeal was. So when I came from them bullshit ass movies and all that, and actually moved there and would be in the front yard, and kids would be up and down the street, or they'd be chasing Brims, or Brims would be chasing them up and down Dinker. I mean, but they would do it with style and finesse, man. So they became the real deal. And fuck being like somebody on TV that I ain't even the same color as. I want to be like the dude who's the real deal.
Do you remember some of those Brims names?
Oh yeah, Yogi, Terry Cadeau, his brother, that son of a bitch. He really wasn't in the band, but he used to really support him. I think his name, Touche, Michael Silverstein. Well, these dudes fucking Foots, fucking Rat, Twins, son of bitches. Even, you know, like, here's the thing. I came into the Crips, so I was fortunate enough, man, to be pollinated like that, man. And I was fortunate enough that righteous ass fucking butterflies and fucking bees fucking landed on me, man, and pollinated me, man, cross-pollinated me. And I was able to rub shoulders with giants, man, because I learned how cripping is and and everything changed. I ain't no stuck dude going back talking about let's take it back to the days, because the good old days was really the bad old days. Every day has a good day, and every time has a good and bad days. There wasn't no good old days all the time. You know, the mother of invention is, necessity is the mother of invention. If you need it as a human, with all this knowledge and prehensile, and holding thumbs, we will create. I need to see people in a box running through a fucking electrical cord, through a copper cable. I need to control that. I didn't know all that then. But when that dude walked up to me and said, I'm gonna build this thing called television, they said, get the fuck out of here. You gonna put people in a fucking box, put the fucking cord in the wall socket, and then run an antenna on the roof to show it? Get him out of here, Jim. Now, today they got TVs, fucking big as my phone.
Day number 20. We have officially made it to our last stop on this amazing journey with Hey Shoes. Welcome.
You feel me? Fucking big as this fucking patio. What I'm saying is, If you need it, you'll produce it. So, street organization where I was from, gangs fulfill the need. The Panthers have been wiped out. And these brothers and sisters, everybody always say, may have been Panthers. That's true or not true. Well, I tell you what they were. They was tired of the bullshit. And the way they responded to it by creating this super gang, which they never thought was going to be a super gang, it was just cats doing their thing. That's what people don't understand about history, man. History ain't plotted out. That ain't the part that's going to make history when you plot that shit out. History is spontaneous, man. It's made by the masses every day. Small shit that you never hardly hear about. But we're hearing about more because now we technology, knowledge to be mature. And I apologize, man, for straying off again, but man, it's been so long since I've been able to talk.
Oh, that's all good. So, Tookie, tell me how and when you met Tookie.
I first met Tookie at 76, man. And this is before he moved on 69. His stepfather always lived there. And he was a photographer. And then Tookie's mother lived around the corner. And not his mother, but not Tookie's mother. Tookie's mother had the dog thing, remember? She had the kennel in Compton. So Tookie was doing that at that time. And he came over here with Jack. And from the east side, who became his roommate eventually. And they asked me where Tookie's father was, stepfather. And I said, I didn't know. But they had a red 64 Chevy for little Took. He was going to get out of YA. And they asked me what I thought about the car. I said, I thought it was cool, man. So I drove off. I was on my bike. That was the first time I ever really met him. But I already knew I knew who he was by sight, by his shape, by just the way people were around him. He just, and his thing about Tookie never was like the leader. He just was one of the hardest motherfuckers. And motherfuckers was just on that level of getting hard. So who else better to emulate than the hardest motherfucker there? But Tookie, he himself was emulating Craig Munson. The thing was to try to be a giant. The thing was that when I hit you, I'm gonna knock you out. I don't got time to be fighting with you all day. My biscuits is shined up. I got my creases in, I got the vest on. You know what I mean? I got my ace dudes, I got the motherfucking, it's hooked up. I ain't got time to fight with you. I got the long crosshair ring in. When I hit you, I'm gonna knock you out. So in order for me to do that, I gotta lift weights. So Tookie was the prototype of that for us, but he himself was the average we all understand, right? Tookie used to have a big old picture of Sergio Olivia, a Cuban brother who won Mr. Olympia. First brother ever to do it, African Cuban. And so everybody had something to look up to, man. But you had Tookie, right? But Tookie wasn't the biggest. There was other cats bigger than Tookie, but they didn't have the whole package.
Bigger in what? Reputation or size? And
size. No one bigger than rep. Once the rep is established, then that's what you ride on, right? And then one time out of 10, when you approach, people approach you based on your rep. So that approached you for a while, but Tookie's like cutes, like all of us. The rep ain't cool. I need to fight every day. So that's how Tookie was. He just pull up and just keep on fighting motherfucker. You know what I mean? So he wasn't always the biggest, but he had the whole total package, the whole charisma. Man, look, bro, and I'm not saying this because I'm Keyway and Took is Keyway. I knew him personally, but he was star quality, man, just like Mouse. These cats, man, in any other lane in this country, if freedom existed, these dudes would be who everybody would be. These dudes would be our Billy D. Williams. They would be our James Earl Jones. These dudes, I'm talking about the total package. Intelligence, wit, charm, unbridled sexuality, physique, looks, teeth. I mean, these dudes, no tattoos, they have to do none of that. They have to, look, when you see these dudes, they might just do something as esoteric as this. Just throw their wing out on you. Ain't nobody seen this but you and this dude. But he just flexed on you. Now it's about Early Swan and going to Long Beach and catch me at the Long Beach arena for the Parliament Funkadelic concert. We're gonna break on you. Come out on him, Chucky. Break on him, Chucky. Break on him. That's what Big Jack would say. Break on him, Chucky. And Chucky will come out of shit. No tattoo, waist this small. Come out like this, man. I mean, I'm just a giant of a dude. Handsome. Big old natural. At the height of health. Taking no supplements or nothing, man. Man, Chuck will do this shit. On bullshit side and set. Chuck will go up to the liquor store and buy a half pint of chocolate milk. Go right around the other aisle and get a little packet of yeast. You break the yeast and eat the yeast and drink the chocolate milk and way back home and say, I'm gonna go out to the house and blow up like bread. And he started lifting because it was my job to stack the weights. Me, hard, little hard, tray ball. It was our job to stack the weights. So if he say you do arms that day, we get the arm shit out. Dumbbells. You know how the whole front room, Chucky's whole front room was no furniture, all weights. They cubes, the other homies had went around and taken it from areas and people. So Chuck's whole front room was weights. You want to sit down, you sit down on the stack of 50s. Or you sit down on that crate, but in that crate is like a bag of dimes. And mirrors. And a crate with a box with a speaker in it that was hooked to a line that went to the back that was supposed to be an 8-track, but it only played 4 songs. 4-track.
That is something to behold.
Is anyone just interrupted?
No, the car is parked underwater. With your farmer's policy perk, nuke.
So they played 4 songs over and over all day. Girl Called It by Chocolate Milk. Reach For It by George Duke. Happy Feelings by Frankie Beverly and Maeve. And Go Away Little Boy by Marlena Shaw. Now this song here made it into the repertoire because Big Jack, Chuck's roommate, was an OG Eastside grip, swole at the top, but he had little bitty chicken legs. That's the homie. But that was his weakness. He had the proverbial despicable me body. Like the penitentiary body. Before people start working on their legs, overstanding that the legs is your foundation. And I'm getting off this, man. I'm off stuff. Hey, man, I'm so happy to be out the hole. I'm so happy to be out South Team Climate. I'm so happy to be back on the main line. Because when man, bro, I got validated in 1989. I got validated, right?
Validated what?
As an associate of the Black World family. But at that time, it did not. Associate member, you validated, that's a wrap. So from 89 to 2017, I had an any-time shoot term. Every time I got captured, when they put the handcuffs on, I knew I'd go straight to reception, straight back to Pelican Bay. And that's what happened. So I was there doing the hunger strikes 2011. And I got released in 2012. San Diego. But look, when I went back this time, this case was, our hunger strike was successful. And we won where we settled the Astor versus the governor decision about us being captured as political prisoners in whole. We were 115. She said we belong to this group. But we ain't got 115. You just came and locked us up and said we're threat to the institutional spirit. Also, I got life in the hole. You know, the jail board gave me 5 years. You giving me life in the hole for no crime. You're a threat. Okay. Come back this time. They lifted that. I'm on the main line. Ooh. I'm on the main line. Level 3. Same level. That shit was a shock to my system. Like, fuck. It was like being on the street. I had seasoning and shit, my food and shit. And a hot pot. Hey, I came out the hole. When I first got back, they put me straight in Chino's hole. Until they lifted my internment like 6 months. Then they lifted me permanent. And then sent me over to level 3. 37 points or some shit. Club. So I came out the whole lot half shit. So everybody gave me everything, TV, you know, fan, hot pot, all that shit. I was amazed. I had so much shit I knew where to play that. I said, damn, they got plugs and everything. I've been in the hole so long, it was like I was a caveman. It's a trip. But they wouldn't give me a celly for a year. So I stayed there a year. So that went to Solano. Solonos. I never met so many young crips, so many young bloods, so many young barrier dudes, so many young barrier crips. That was just, had so much time. And really that's the key, man. I think that we're missing on this whole prison thing. Yeah, they let a lot of lifers out. But they let a lot of lifers out because they've sucked them dry. They've sucked them dry. Now, these young brothers and sisters that's coming in all this time, that's the new generation. And then once they get enough of them in, they're going to change the law again. But they're going to be locked in for a certain amount of time. It's like a revolving door. It's like the recidivism. It's like the system has recidivism. The system itself can't reform. The system itself has to eat from us. And really, it is now, it is like really at the bottom of this whole apparatus. On the bottom level, is the real oppressed people. The Chicago Nation, New African Nation, Puerto Rican Nation, Indigenous people, Alaska, Hawaii. These is really the foundation of what America's resting on. Because this is where she reaps her benefits from.